All right, back in the saddle.
Oh, man.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into the pregame lounge.
Let's go.
Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your front range Toyota stores. Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets on the back-to-back against the Spurs, and we're gonna get you guys set for it. We're back again. Got the same crew rolling on the second night of the back-to-back. We got super producer Kale here. I'm Harrison Wynn, my guy, Superstar Dev. What's up, man?
I'm trying everything in my power to just wipe my memory.
Yeah.
I have tried to do everything to not remember last night, and guess what? It's all I think about. It's horrible. I cannot believe that this is what we have to go through, but you want to know the best part about it? We have a chance to right the ship tonight. Let's see what Jokic and the boys are going to do tonight, baby.
Jokic and the boys are not playing tonight.
What do you mean?
Nikola Jokic is out of this game. He is not playing. Jamal Murray is not playing. Michael Porter Jr. is not playing. Christian Brown is not playing. Aaron Gordon is not playing. The Nuggets' entire starting five is not playing tonight.
What?
Yeah. Good luck on your bets. Entire starting five is out. They're not playing tonight after, most of them played 50-something minutes, or at least 40-something minutes last night against Minnesota. Less than 24 hours ago. So they're all out. You're shocked.
This is what we deserve this. We signed up for this.
Yeah.
Let me guess. We have a watch along.
Of course we have a watch along. I mean, we went viral off the watch along last night. I mean,
it was so great.
Some say it was good press, some say it was bad press, some say all press is good press.
What I've learned is Minnesota people way meaner than I thought. Just horrible
There's
people.
not a lot of Minnesota nice.
I used to love them, and I don't love them anymore. Everybody knows how much I used to love Minnesota.
Yeah.
And now I don't know about them anymore, man. They're rude.
We had so I don't know if anybody saw the clip of us reacting to the end of the game that went a little viral from a lot of Timberwolves fans. We had a president of basketball operations text us about that video. Somebody that doesn't work for the Nuggets. Yeah. Somebody else in the league. They're like, I saw you guys on the watch along last night.
I had to double down on my messages, like me, you, and that person. And I'm like, oh, so everyone has seen it at this point.
Yeah, that definitely got around, but no, it's all good. It was a lot of fun last night. So yeah, the entire Nuggets starting five is out of this game. Jokic they're listing with the ankle, Christian Brown the foot strain, Aaron Gordon calf, Jamal Murray. They've changed Jamal Murray's injury from right hamstring tightness to right hamstring inflammation.
I mean, that means we're progressing, right?
Are we? Is that a progression or a regression? I don't know.
I think it's progression.
Tightness to inflammation?
Well, I know that all you have to Tylenol Jamal. All you gotta do is pop one, and you'll be in the good spot. So
I guess inflammation is good. Good in that sense. And Peyton Watson is also out. Right knee inflammation. He's also got something inflamed. So I don't know what we're gonna get tonight. I believe Russell Westbrook is playing. As the kids would say, he has the chance to do the funniest thing ever tonight. The Nuggets posted a tweet. This was 10 minutes ago with the caption, "Getting ready." And it was a picture of PJ Hall and a picture of Dario Saric.
Oh, man, we're going to see Dario tonight. I'm excited about that. Watch along. I'm ready now. We are going to see Dario. We'll see a lot of Trey Alexander. I'm sure we're going to see everybody that's on the Nuggets roster tonight.
Probably a lot of Pickett as well.
Hey, Dev, do you know who we're going to see tonight?
Who are we going to see? Oh, fire it up, Kale!
Let's go, Spencer Jones. The Nuggets are playing the San Antonio Spurs, who are, in a big tank themselves right now. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row to the Pistons, the Cavs, the Celtics, the Warriors, the Magic. So they've had a tough schedule, San Antonio.
I was just about to say, those are all good teams, though.
They really are. This last game against the Magic, they lost 116-105. Chris Paul still playing for them, though. He had 10 points in that game. Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, Bismack Biyombo. Those were their 5 starters against the Magic. So they're still playing a lot of their regular dudes. Obviously, Wembanyama out for the year. But Chris Paul, Castle, Vassell, Harrison Barnes, they got some professional basketball players that will be suiting up tonight. So, I mean, with all these guys out for the Nuggets, this is going to be a tough game. I mean, typically you see the Spurs on the schedule, especially late in the season, no Wemby. Typically, this would be a win. You'd feel pretty good about it, even though these are the Nuggets. With everybody out tonight, I mean, I'm expecting a tough game.
I am scared.
Yeah.
I really did. Like, typically in this spot, you still have a starter or two playing for the Nuggets, so you still feel confident. You're just like, the Spurs, they're tanking. They don't want to win. Looking at where they are in seeding, they're in the 13th spot in the West. The Trailblazers, they have them by 2.5 games at 12. So they're not, even if they won this game, they would not leapfrog or go over them. And then they're not even close to the Pelicans, who have 10 games on them. So they could win this game, and it truly means nothing for them. And also, this is a very familiar spot for Nuggets fans. Spurs ruined the last season.
Oh, no.
They really did ruin last season.
Oh, no.
Like, they won a game that they had no business winning for no real reason, still got their guy, and they could win at random times. They still have a lot of guys that are still playing for contracts that are going to want to play hard, and the Nuggets, I don't know if they have enough. They have guys, but this is going to be a mid-off. I'm excited to see who wins the mid-off.
I've got the starting lineup for the Denver Nuggets
this is about to be
here.
So creative.
Russell Westbrook in the lineup and starting. Next to Russell Westbrook, it's Jalen Pickett.
Oh, yeah.
At the 2. Next to him at the 3, Hunter Tyson. At the 4, Zeke Naji. At the 5, DeAndre Jordan. So a pretty big lineup just in terms of size at the 4 and 5. Your 2 point guard look with Westbrook and Pickett. It's not like the Nuggets have another guard to even play there. Christian Brown is out. Julian Strawler's out. The only other guard available is Trey Alexander. The Nuggets have 3 guards available tonight.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to start Pickett, Hunter Tyson at the 3, and then Zeke and DeAndre Jordan. Who are you excited to watch in that starting 5 tonight?
I'm not going to lie. I'm excited to watch every single player in that starting 5 because of how much they're playing for. Russell Westbrook has to be all eyes on him. Like, everybody's going to be excited to see the type of game he is. There's so many people that want him to bounce back and show up. And this is a great spot for him to show up. But there are so many more people that want him to have a bad game. So this is like I think that's my number one guy in this game.
Yeah.
This is typically a spot that you'll see players that they don't see often. A Hunter Tyson. We've been excited about the Zeke Naji all year long and him getting minutes. You have Rapid Man. But for me, it's the.
Do you even know his name?
No. That's not his name. They should just put that in the starting lineup, Rapid Man. But I'm excited for this game.
Yeah.
I really am. Who's one that you're excited?
I'm excited to see what Russ does tonight. Absolutely. I mean, we talked about it ad nauseum on the show last night. I mean, his end of game sequence, he did get the steal, but then the missed layup and fouling Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I mean, that's why the Nuggets lost that game. They probably win if it's not for that. So he's definitely heard the noise. I'm sure he feels really terrible about what happened. Like, I'm sure he beat himself up about it. And I'm curious how he's going to bounce back. And he's really the one guy in the lineup tonight that you can absolutely write in for playoff minutes. So he is really like the one guy that I feel like matters tonight. Zeke is probably second on that list with Jalen Pickett right there. So you got Westbrook. How is he going to bounce back? He's going to have the opportunity, man. And I mean, that's kind of exciting, but also really freaking scary at the same time, because he definitely will feel like he's got something to prove. And he's also going to be matched up with Chris Paul, another vet who's been in the league for a while. Castle in the backcourt as well, Devin Vassell. So the Spurs have some guards that can definitely hurt Denver if they're not careful. So it should be interesting how Denver's backcourt handles that.
Are you shocked to see that Malone rested the starters? And do you think that them having a big game on Friday that they need to be prepared for, do you think that played any part of resting them, or is it just because they played so many minutes on the second night of a back-to-back?
I think it's just because they played the minutes last night. I don't think they're thinking about that Golden State game. I think it's just they're got a lot of guys that are probably in the red, Their energy levels are low. Their bodies are hurting. They're tired. Maybe if that game doesn't go into overtime last night, they play. I could see that. The guys who are healthy enough to, but I think it's just because that game went into double overtime and so much energy was expended. Let's look back at that game for a second, because I was thinking on the show last night, and I was thinking, on my drive home last night at 1:30 a.m., what is Nikola Jokic's best game of his entire career? And Basketball Reference has a stat called game score, where they take all the stats from the game and they put it in a formula, and different stuff is weighted differently, and it spits out a game score. And the best game score ever is Michael Jordan, 64.6. March 28th, 1990. His stats in that game, 69 points on 23 of 37 shooting to go with 18 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 2 turnovers. It's a pretty good game. Luka has the second best game score of all time, and Embiid has the fourth. Jokic's game from last night clocks in at number 20. So according to Basketball Reference's game score, this was the 20th best individual performance in NBA history.
But also it goes to say that this is Jokic's best performance that he's ever
according
put up.
to game score, which I don't love it because it weighs points, I think, a little too much. Points are the most important individual statistic, but especially with a guy like Jokic, some of his best games I do feel like are his 15 assist games or 17 assist games, and he might only have 35 or 40. So it definitely weighs points a lot, and him getting 61 elevated that to the highest. But yeah, that was his best individual game according to game score last night, 52.7. His second best game ever, according to this, let me try to find it here, 48.7, March 6th, 2022. Do you remember what that game was?
Is it Portland?
No, it was the Pelicans. 46 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. He shot 16 of 22. Yeah. 73%.
But that seems regular. I feel like he's done that before.
I mean, yeah, he has. But that's like the points and then the field goal percentage. Shooting 73% on that many shots. I think that bumps it up. So it was definitely arguably his greatest game ever. I can't decide if I would have, game 5 against Minnesota ahead of that, just because it was in the playoffs and the pressure and just how he operated in that environment. That might still take the cake for me, but I mean, 61 points is 61 points.
60 points with the triple-double.
Yeah.
Man, that really is special. Putting up 60 points, there's not a lot of players in NBA history to do that. But to do that in that fashion, to be able to dissect the game, that is insane. And then also, even looking at that Luka stat, that one is still shocking to me.
Yeah.
What was it, like 60, 20, and 10 or something like that?
I think that's the second best game score of all time. It's Luka. Yeah, last year, January 26th, 73. Oh, no, this was the 73-point game. 73, 10, and 7.
73, 10, and 7.
But then
just imagine
this one,
imagine getting rid of a player like that.
the 10th highest game score ever was Luka going for 60, 21, and 10. That was the 10th best game ever.
20 and 10. That is really just controlling the game. That is a pretty cool
60,
stat to
20,
just
and 10
go
great.
through how you've really just destroyed.
Yeah.
Those are the best performances. A lot of those names, like Luka, I seen Kyrie was under. Like, there's some names that they're all still playing. Like,
Yeah.
games are still evolving, and Jokic is putting himself on that list multiple times. This is also a list that we don't have Jokic in the top 5 or 10, and that is very rare to not see Jokic at the top of a list, which means a bigger game is coming soon.
That was going to be my next question for you. So we actually had this discussion on the show a while back. Will Nikola Jokic break his career high in this and this and this? And one of the questions was, would he break his career high in points? It was 56. He did that this season. I'll just throw you this question. What do you think will be the most points Nikola Jokic will ever score in his career? And I want to hear what you guys think in the Toyota chat too. What will be the most points Nikola Jokic scores in his career? Because now he's into the 60s. Because now we know the 60s are possible.
I don't know. Maybe he gets a 70 point
I think
game.
he could get a 70.
I think maybe a 70 point. He even left some on the table last night.
He barely he definitely left a bunch on the table.
He left some on the table. Also, he didn't get a rebound for like all of overtimes or the fourth quarter, it felt like. So he could get more rebounds there where he has one of those monster stat lines like we seen in Luka. But I do think that the 70 ball is income. What if he decides not to get the triple-double and it's just all shots where he doesn't make those extra passes?
Yeah.
Where he's not putting the ball in other people's hands. 70?
Dude, I think he has a 70-point game in him. Probably not the rest of this year because I can't imagine like Denver's in another game where they're pushing that hard.
All those 70-point games happened before they changed the defense
that
rules
is a good
last
point.
year, though.
And Yoke did get a good whistle last night. He rarely gets that whistle.
With the performances, when you hear the names of the teams that teams are playing against when they have these monster performances, none of those are against Minnesota, like a team that is like in a playoff hunt, like actually a really good team. They were, in the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yeah, a great defense.
They also have the multiple-time defensive player of the year, one of the best defenders of all time. And he has a lot of monster performances against him specifically. Yep. I think that means something. I know that when you look at stats, you're not going to think about like who was on the opposing team. You very rarely hear, who was defending them. But they had a game plan to try to slow him down, try to stop him. They have one of the best defenders of all time. He still put up 60. Yeah. What about if he tries to do that against the Wizards, the Pelicans, like teams like that? What happens then? I really do think a 70-point performance, 80-point performance is there. But I'm going to go with 70 just because I did not think he would get to 60.
I think
I'm going to go 70.
Yeah. I was actually rereading a column that Howard Beck wrote about Jokic back in, I think it was 2016. It was one of the first definitive Jokic features. It was the one where he wrote like he went to, Jokic's house and he described how he was living with his brothers and he was wrestling. Jokic was still so young. He was the Joker. Like he was this jokester back then. And Jokic had a quote in this column, and he said, I pass because I can't, score 40. If I could score 40 every night, I would. That was back in 2016, he said that. Now he's at a point where he can do that. And I think it's like, it's not rocket science. Like, it's not anything crazy. He just scores now because it's the best thing for the team. Like, he's scoring because he can, and it's the best thing for the team on every single possession.
You know what would be so cool? If you went and asked him about that specific interview and quote. If he would remember, I bet that would be something that he would give deep thought to.
Maybe, yeah.
Because his thinking, his game, the way that he understands the game, the high IQ, everything about him has changed since that time. That I wonder if he was like saying that because he did not expect to be this player, or if that really was like his thought process. Because we know that he tells the truth all the time, but also he is really jovial. Like there's a lot of, I feel like that being a defense mechanism of like making sure that he doesn't take away from like the work and the grind that he puts in, but he doesn't want all the credit there. Yeah. I really do think that he would like probably like deep thought into that. So that is a cool quote. I
thought it was cool looking back. In terms of the young guys to watch out for tonight, I mean, they're going to get run. Trey Alexander, like I said earlier, the only other guard available to play tonight. I mean, they have 3 guards available. Russ and Pickett are starting. Trey Alexander, the two-way guard, coming off the bench. Spencer Jones, that's Rapid Man. He will get some run tonight as well. Maybe we'll see Vlatko Čančar.
That's his name.
I wonder if we see any Dario Saric tonight.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
They're without a lot of guys. You cannot overplay these guys after already overplaying the other guys. Also, what do you have to lose to, get Dario Saric some minutes? I feel like Michael Malone went out of his way to talk about the professionalism of a Dario Saric and staying ready and, and things like that. This is a spot that Dario should get some burn, and I really am excited for that. I do know that there are a lot of people that are frustrated with that signing this offseason. I hope that he gets to have his moment or some moments in the NBA this year before he transitions out of the NBA.
Yeah.
So I think he does play tonight.
Well, maybe that's why he's not playing. I'll talk about that on the watch along, maybe, which we are doing tonight because we're doing one for every game the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Our prime picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. We went 3 for 3 on our pregame picks last night. They pretty much hit before the end of the third quarter. These are going to be a lot tougher, I feel like.
Are they? They absolutely are. First off, I want to shout out Bet365. They really have been doing their thing.
Yeah.
They love us and we love them. And the DNVR family, we've been eating thanks to Bet365.
It's funny. I just got an email saying how much Bet365 appreciates us shouting them out and winning bets on their platform.
See, who does that?
Yeah, it's a great mutual relationship that we got going here.
No one does that. See, I want to thank them in advance, as we always do. The Nuggets come into this game as 2.5-point favorites.
Interesting.
Oh, my God. Listen, this is such a good line. I really am. I want to know how dead on or close Vegas is. Because this one, how do you even come up with a line? They should have just put a question mark. There's no way that you
here's what I wonder. Do you think the Nuggets... Because Denver, I think, has the biggest home court advantage in the NBA according to the books. Do you think that advantage is just 2.5 points?
I don't know. I don't know.
And that's the line tonight?
I don't know anything about this team. No one does. I don't know how Vegas does. 2.5 is so good. I know that the Spurs want to lose, but how badly do they want to lose? This is a very even matchup, and what you put out there, I don't know. I would definitely not tell you guys to go either way. What I will tell you is I'm going over 225 in this game.
Really?
I do think that there will not be a lot of defense. There will be a lot of guys that are trying to prove themselves and show that they can score. I know that someone would look at this line and say, how is Denver going to score or keep up? They have the bodies to score. It's always going to be defense. I do think that they'll be able to score. I'm going to go over 225. On the Spurs side of things, Stephon Castle is a guy that I think he blew up with a solid all-star outing, but he's damn good. Like, he's going to be a player that's going to be a force in this league for like years to come. Like, I'm excited to see him and Wemby once he returns be able to connect because Castle's good and he's explosive. He has a lot of Ja Morant in him. I'm going to go over 21.5 points for him. They're putting the ball in his hands. They want him to score. They're going to allow him to be the guy. A lot of players on their team are role players. He's young, but he has that dog in him, man. I think over 21.5 points is good. I also think that we get to see a ton of Harrison Barnes in this game.
Harry Barnes.
They have his points, rebounds, and assists. Wonderful first name, too.
That's what everybody says.
They has his points, rebounds, and assists at 20.5, and I think he clears that pretty easily. I root for all Harrisons. You know what I mean? Even Ford. For the Nuggets,
original.
For the Nuggets side of things, you have to be so creative. You have to be so creative.
Yeah,
in this
I'm
one.
curious where you go here.
They are putting some respect on Jalen Pickett's name.
Really?
Listen, they so much respect. They have his 3-point line at 2.5.
Wow.
Well, let me tell you something. If Michael Porter Jr. is struggling to get this, Jalen Pickett is damn sure struggling to get this. I hate that I'm doing this. I'm gonna do a under. I hate under in the Nuggets players.
Oh,
but how are
man.
we gonna get 2.5 3-pointers for Jalen Pickett? There's no way he gets 2.5. And also, he's going to have the ball in his hands. What do you think that he's going to do? Sit in the corner and wait for the ball?
I mean, I know Russ isn't passing Jalen Pickett.
We're going to go under right here. While we're on the under for Pickett, let's make up for it. Let's get the assist. Over 5.5 assists for him. I think that he gets the ball rolling. They're going to put the ball in his hand when Russell Westbrook is not out there. And also, I just think that he's going to have the ability to try to get things going. He'll be able to dump it off. I like the over. I also like to stick with assists. DeAndre Jordan, over 2.5 assists.
Whoa.
He's a dimer, man. He really can pass. He's a lot better of a passer than people get credit for. I think that he's going to be able to clear this pretty easily, especially early on. He sets up the offense. He's trying to find his guys. He makes some crazy passes. And with him and Russell Westbrook together, they're going to be challenging each other for these passes. I like the over. I like Zeke Naji over 5.5 rebounds right here. And it makes sense because 5.5. That's like 5.55-ish. You know what I mean? Let's just go over there.
It's too good.
Let's just go over on that one. He's going to get a lot of minutes in this game. I'm excited that we already got that out of the way. But I wish that this was something that we were rooting for to see how good of a Zeke Naji game it was. Because there was excitement every single time he was on the court. Hopefully we get something in this
We might get in the playoffs when he goes for 55 minutes.
Oh, I'm going to be excited about that too. Yeah. That means that Nuggets are winning games if he's getting in the game. So I like that one. Our defensive bet, I'm going to go with Russell Westbrook over 1.5 stocks. I'm expecting him to get a couple of steals against this Spurs squad. I really do think that there will be some careless plays on their side that he tries to get out on, and he gets out on the break and finishes. And for our lock, this one is for sure hitting. I mean, you could bet the house.
Yeah.
Over 21.5 points for Russell Westbrook. It is time to fill his wrath. This is a scary spot to be in if you're a Russ lover or if you're a Russ hater. He will have the opportunity, a great spot to be able to satisfy at least one side. Yeah. Either you're going to be pissed off at Russ or you're going to be so excited and you're going to be arguing about how he made up for a rough night. I'm going on the side of him bouncing back. I think he's able to score. I think that they're going to make sure that he's taking a bunch of shots, and he's going to be very aggressive. I wouldn't be shocked if we see a Russell Westbrook triple-double in this one.
I wouldn't be
But
either.
I do expect him to have a monster game and be very, 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 very aggressive.
Yeah.
Let's make some money out of it.
And he's got DJ playing next to him at the 5 too. That's a good combination. They got some natural pick-and-roll chemistry there, so I'm with it. I'm excited, man. We'll see what we got tonight. Any Super Chats?
Yep.
Couple Super Chats here. Yvonne, I blame Malone also for last night and for his love affair with veterans. It's not 2023 when a young guy Pickett is playing better than the vet Russ. Keep him in the game. He is low turnover guy. Good point. History Channel 5280. I feel like this lineup is cruel punishment for Westbrook. They gave him DJ. That's about it, though.
Yeah. Also, Russell Westbrook said, I want to play. Because they wouldn't have put him in there. Like, if he wanted the day off, he would have got it off. He wants to play.
I'm sure he wants to fully erase last night from his mind right now.
Well, it's going to be a monster game for him, and we're going to watch it on the Watch Along.
We'll be live on the Watch Along momentarily, so head on over there. You can find the link in our YouTube channel. Talk to you guys in a few.
like the mayor.